Hey guys, what's happening? So I'm on the branded deck now, and it's the next deck I'm trying to learn. I'm trying to evolve more into the combo realm, so I think branded is a good step from the control type stuff I usually play into the more combo-y decks. I just want to go through two replays that I had against Swordsoul. It was against the same player. It was both game ones without siding, and I just want to talk through my thought process as a beginner branded player. I am by no means an expert at this deck, and there was a couple interactions that I don't really know how it works, so I'm here to ask you guys for help actually. Asking why something happened or why I couldn't respond and so forth. So this was the deck list that I was on for these matches. I have since moved on from this deck list, so I'm not doing a deck profile or anything, but I just want you guys to have the context of what I was working with. And again, these were two game ones, no siding for either game. So let's go ahead and jump on in to the replays, and I'll talk you through my thought process and ask you guys what was going on, because I'm a little confused. Okay, so here was game one. I opened double super poly Aliber, Saronir branded fusion, which is pretty sweet opening, to be honest. And then he opened called by Heavenly Circle, Emergence, Sacred Summit, and Ashuna. So he went first in both of these replays that I'm going to show you. So I'm playing into a full Swordsoul board with my branded hand. So he goes for Monk and then Mo Yi into PHHY, and I decide not to hit the Ashuna that was in his grave at first, just because I want to save Saronir for my combo with Mercurier, and then I don't want to get punished by him having another Ashuna, which it turned out he did, or he got to. So I'm really glad I held the Saronir there. He's going for PHHY now, and then Long Yuan play, and then he ends on double Worm Synchro, burns for 12, and then he has a set called by and a set Heavenly Circle. So he has 1 interruption, 2 interruptions, and I guess 3-4 interruptions with Long Yuan, kinda. And then he has Sacred Summit in hand, which I don't know, but he does have some follow-up in grave with Ashuna. So I start off I draw branded in red for turn, and then I go for Aliber to try to search branded lost, so I can activate fusion without getting it negated by anything. And he just negates that with PHHY, which makes sense. So okay, so this is the position where I had a question for you guys. So I activate branded fusion, and then I send Mercurier and Albaz to make Rindworm. And then the next play is he uses Long Yuan to try to banish Lindworm, and the simulator does not give me a chance to respond with Rindworm, and it just gets banished. So am I missing something? Like, why couldn't I have negated that with Lindworm, whichever way you want to say it, but why couldn't I negate and then bounce with this? Am I missing something? Like, it's still an activated effect, and this says when a Synchro Monster effect is activated, I can negate it. So it just didn't give me the option. So maybe it's a simulator issue, or maybe it's like a me issue, kind of misplaying the situation. But I thought for sure if I go Branded Fusion into Rimbrum, I can just stop whatever follow-up plays he has, and I'm in the clear. But apparently that was not the case. So just curious if anyone knows what's going on, please leave it in the comments below. I really want to learn whatever that interaction is, but I don't really care about that because I have Mercurier Saronir set up, so I'm ready to go on that. He called buys the Mercurier, so now Saronir doesn't resolve and Mercurier doesn't resolve either, but I can go branded in red now, bring back Albaz, and then go for Lubellion with the Aliber in my hand, and then I can go ahead and discard the Saronir to still get its effect, and I go into Mirror Jade. So my thought process here is I want to leave an effect monster on board, don't leave Monk on board, because I don't want his Tenyis to be live, and I know he's only on, what, 3 cards left? or something. He has What's in Hand, the Unknown set, and then these monsters. So Saronir dumps Retribution, and then I just swing over the Long Yuan, and then I banish, or I use effect dumping Albion to banish the Monk. And again, yeah, so I wanted to banish the Monk to leave him on an effect monster so he could not use the Ashina to start his turn. And then I just use Retribution to add back Branded Fusion for follow-up, and then set a Super Poly. And then he reveals his set card with Circle, and then I set a second Branded in red off of Albion. So he starts off with Moyi here and summons the token, and then he goes for Ashina to bring out Adara. He drew Vishuddha for turn as well, and I Super Poly here to clear the token and the Moyi to try to keep him off a Synchro play. He goes for Monk and starts using his Tenyi cards, which is fine, but he has a lot of follow-up here. He bounces the Mirror Jade back with the Vishuddha, and then I use, or I can't use Mirror Jade effect. Then he goes for Long Yuan here, and then into Chen Ying, which is a big booty, and then he revives the Long Yuan with the Sacred Summit. So it's looking pretty rough, but I do draw a Lubellion off of the Garura draw, and then I have Branded Fusion in hand for follow-up that I added back last turn, and then I have Branded in red as well. So I pretty much just have to out these monsters. I go Lubellion, Search, Saronir, and then I Branded Fusion, and he banishes that just for the damage, I think, which is fair. I dump Mercurier and Albaz again and summon a second Rindworm. Or did this? Oh, this got returned off of Lubellion, so that's why it's back in extra. So I was able to make it again with my second Albaz and Mercurier here. So I'm trying to go for that play again. I summon Druis Worm here, and he's just not using any effects because I would be able to bounce it with Rinworm, and negate it. So yeah, I'm pretty much free to play here. I go for the Lubellion, dump the Regained because I'm going to activate Beast to be able to get the Regain back in the end phase anyway. I go Beast effect, send the Druis Worm to try to pop this, but I didn't read this card. I didn't realize you could not. It has Destruction Protection, so that was a misplay on my part. Definitely should have tried to pop any of the other monsters and then have Druis Worm send this. So that's misplay. Like I said, still I'm a noob, so yeah. Then he saves it by banishing Sacred Summit, and then I chain Branded in red here to try to go for Mirror Jade. That's fine, and he banishes the Mirror Jade with Chen Ying, which is fine because now I can Mirror Jade effect. So he gets his board wiped in the end phase, and I'm sitting on Lubellion Beast, and then I'm gonna set the Regain back, or activate the Regain with the Beast. So I have an interruption for whatever he draws, which is just Imperm. And then yeah, he imperms that because I'm trying to activate Branded Lost from deck. I guess you might as well burn the Imperm, and then I just start swinging for damage here. So I put him on a 1-turn clock, and I still have the interruption with Beast, and he has Evenly, which is fine. I'll just keep the damage on board, and then I draw Alibur for enough damage. So that's game. So that was game one into a Swordsoul board. Yeah, that was just my thought process on how I was playing through my turns. But if you guys have any recommendations on how I could have played things better, you know, besides the misplay trying to pop the Chen Ying, let me know in the comments, please. Okay, and on to the second game against the same opponent. He offered rematch, and I took it because it was good practice. And he's going first again. So I open Lubellion, Albion, opening Alibur and Mercurier, and he opens Ashina, Circle, Taya, Moyi, and Imperm. So both pretty good hands on both sides, I think. But he is going first, and he's pretty much going to be uninterrupted on Swordsoul combo. So he goes for Qishao, searches the Long Yuan, which is fine. He has Long Yuan Ashina. So he gets to make some plays here. He goes for the same double Swordsoul Synchro play into Monk, sets Imperm, sets Heavenly Circle. So pretty much the same board I had to play through last time. So I draw Magnum up for turn. So this game, I will admit, was not very cleanly played by me. I made some misplays. So any comments you guys have on my gameplay, please let me know. You know, hopefully be nice about it. I know I'm not the best branded player, but yeah, I'm interested to hear some feedback. So I start off with Lubellion, trying to just bait stuff because I know I'm eventually going to have to summon Alibur and search Branded Fusion. So whatever negates I can get out would be wonderful. So I dump Retribution with Albion to draw one, and I draw Branded Lost, which is incredible in case he has any negates, but it wouldn't have mattered anyway. I go for opening here, trying to bait like Ash or something, and he actually banishes the opening just for the damage, which is awesome because now my Lost can resolve. So that was a pretty bad play on his part, but he just wanted to get the damage in, I suppose, and didn't really think of anything I could activate that he would want to banish. So I'll take it, I suppose. I go for Alibur here, and he negates, but I do dump the Branded Fusion with Saronir, and I had already dumped Retribution with Albion. So even though my Alibur got negated, I'm able to basically search Branded Fusion. So I go ahead and activate Lost, add back Branded Fusion, and for some reason here I go for Magnemite right now. I guess I'm still trying to bait some kind of negates out, even though he knows I have Branded Fusion in hand and he can't respond with negates with Branded Lost. So this is a definitely misplay here, but I go ahead and summon Magnemite, activate effect, and then he goes for the long you want to banish the Magnemite. And I guess in my head I was trying to bait that out, but even if I went for Branded Fusion, he wouldn't be able to do that on summon because I have Lost. So this was just a waste of a Magnemite, honestly. Yeah, I baited this in case I was gonna summon something that's not a fusion monster, but I definitely had no need to bait out this effect because he wouldn't have been able to use it on any fusion monsters that I was summoning. But anyways, I'll get a search in the end phase. I go for Branded Fusion here, and I dump Cartesia and Alibur to make the Albion. I already have the Lubellion in Grave, which is why I went for the Cartesia route, and I'll be able to Lubellion bounce back the Albion later. And then I go Albion effect and Lost effect. I search a Mercurier, and then I dump a Mercurier for the Lubellion fusion effect. I banish it for the Albion fusion cost to make Lubellion. So I still am able to resolve Mercurier, and I still have one in hand for negate. So I think 2 Mercurier is like not too bad here. Now Lubellion activates, I discard the Alibur, and then the Mercurier activates on Chain Link 2. Opponent still can't respond to that. I search Albion because why not, and then summon the Mirror Jade. I bounce back, or I send the Albion for Lubellion, and then activate the Branded Beast from deck. So right now he has an Imperm, Circle, and that's it. And because he already used Chixiao and he already used both Long Yuan effects, so I'm just playing into a pretty much open board here, except for Imperm. So I go battle, hit that, and then I hit the Monk as well, and then he chains Circle on the Monk to search the Vishuda, and then I choose, well actually no, I don't choose, I cannot attack over the Chixiao right now anyway, but I choose not to pop it with Beast because again, I want to leave an effect monster on board so his Tennis are not live, because I know he has Adara in Grave, which could add back the banished Ashina. I might know he searched Vishuda, I don't remember. Did he? Oh, he just searched Vishuda. So yeah, I definitely don't want him on any Tennis, so I want an effect monster on board at all times. Magnemite searches Baldrake here, I add back Cartesia, and then that Albion sets Branded in red. He draws Ecclesia for turn, which is nice for him, and activates effect. Goes for the Mo Yi here, so I'm pretty much need to keep him off of a token, because if he has a token on board or a Monk of the Tenyi on board, he can start using his Tenyi effect. So at all costs, I need to stop any non-effect monster cost from going on. So I negate the Mo Yi with Mercurier, he normal summons the Taya, and I try to beast the Taya before he can use effect for the token to pop that. He has the monster reborn for the Taya anyway, so I use the Mirror Jade to try to banish the Taya, and then he chains Chixiao. I planned for this. He chains Chixiao, but I have Branded in red set, so that I can use Mirror Jade as material to dodge the Chixiao effect. So yeah, that was my play. But he reveals his set Imperm to play around all of this, unfortunately. So I'll play by Imperm. Mirror Jade gets stopped. I go into Dragostapelia, and Mirror Jade gets lost. It gets fused away. And then I searched something. Cartade. What did I search? Albaz. I guess Albaz was the only target left. He goes for Taya again, though. So I have the Dragostapelia now to negate the Taya to still keep him off the token at all costs. He goes for Shaman, discards the Vishuda, and I use Baldrake effect here to banish the Vishuda to put one more interruption on board here. So whatever he chooses to summon, Baldrake can just banish. And he tries to summon the Monk, which is a non-effect monster. So one last time, need to stop the non-effect monster from being on board. I get rid of my Dragostapelia. I don't care anymore. He can swing over my stuff. That's fine. Just need to keep him off the 10E effects. So Baldrake banishes the Monk. He goes battle, swings in for damage. And that's it. But I just have so much follow-up, I don't even care. I just search Branded Fusion in the end phase, have enemy controller, yeah, and he just scoops there. He has no shot. So, yeah, those were the 2 games against Swordsoul. Playing into Swordsoul board, going second with Branded. It just turned out to be a breeze for some reason. Maybe if he went for a Baron play instead of the Long Yuan play, then it would have been harder for me. I don't know. I definitely did not play everything cleanly, so if you have any recommendations for me with this build, I know I'm going to change the build, I'm going to go for fusion deployments going forward, but if you have any recommendations for me, what I could have done with the cards that I had, please let me know in the comments. I'm trying to get better at this deck, and then going to put it forward to you guys with more content with the Branded deck, because I'm really excited to play it at a high level. So yeah, subscribe to the channel. Supports me a whole lot. I would really appreciate it. Leave a like on the video, comment again, and we will catch you guys in the next one with some more Yu-Gi-Oh content.